PFT Media.
What's up, my dudes? It's Billy D. Welcome to episode 6 of the Post Mortem.
Shut up and sit down.
Alright, we are 25 in. Can you believe it? This is crazy. Number 75. Number 75 is an all-time classic 1985 film, Dan O'Bannon's Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead is based on a book by John Russo, who was the screenwriter on Night of the Living Dead. Russo was apparently not a very nice guy to work with, and that's why Romero never worked with him again after Night of the Living Dead. There was some sort of legal battle between George Romero and John Russo over title rights to subsequent films in the Dead series. Russo retained the rights to the Living Dead title, and George Romero basically was free to just do whatever he wanted so long as he didn't use the combination of words living and dead. This is why the rest of the films in Romero's trilogy are called Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. So Russo wrote a book called Return of the Living Dead, which was initially conceived as a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead. And Dan O'Bannon, he adapted it and he fought to direct it. Basically injected all of this comedy and this punk rock sensibility into Return of the Living Dead. And what we wound up with is an all-time horror comedy classic. Return of the Living Dead is the movie that put the word brains into the zombies' mouths. The Tarman is one of the all-time greatest monster designs. They're nigh indestructible. These zombies are very difficult to kill. And it's just a very strange, offbeat film. Some of the punk rockers in this movie have the best names. Suicide, Scuzz, Trash. These are great punk rock names. There's a totally nude dance sequence in the cemetery. Use your brains. Watch Return of the Living Dead. Number 74. This is an odd movie. It's an odd movie because it doesn't have a ton of rewatchability, but it has a ton of rewatchability, if that makes any sense. And this movie is the 1997 David Fincher movie, The Game. The Game is a super tight thriller. It stars Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. Michael Douglas is a billionaire, millionaire, super rich type, and Sean Penn is his f***up younger brother. Their father commits suicide when they were both children by jumping off the roof of their palatial home, which was also on Michael Douglas's birthday when he was a child. Being a super rich guy, Michael Douglas kind of has everything, and his younger brother seeks out the most unique gift he can give his older brother on his birthday. And that gift is a game. For the longest time, there was not a good transfer of this movie. Only recently did somebody take the time to put out a high-definition version of the film. So what you'd see on Netflix or Amazon right now is actually the best it's looked since 1997. This film's pretty unbelievable. Number 73. Number 73 is a real downer. It's the 1978 Michael Cimino film, The Deer Hunter, with incredible performances by Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Meryl Streep, John Cazale. There's a documentary about Cazale called I Know It Was You, which is absolutely worth watching. The film's told essentially in 3 chapters, which is the portion before the war, the Vietnam War, and then the portion after the war. And you get to see these boys essentially grow up over the course of something like 3 hours. It's a really long movie. It was on 2 VHS tapes when I was a kid. It's one of the very first films that dealt exclusively with the Vietnam War and the impact it had on rural America or even just Americans in general. And it's a heartbreaking movie. Watch The Deer Hunter and then go look up every John Cazale movie you can and watch that. Number 72. After The Deer Hunter, we need something to liven this up a little bit. So I've chosen the wonderful, wonderful Pixar animated film, WALLE. Pixar is so good at visual storytelling. WALL-E's first half is almost a silent movie. It's just a little robot pushing around garbage on a decimated Earth. It's a fantastic, smart, intelligent film that's entertaining for people of all ages. I mean, the balls to make a children's film where there's no talking for 35 minutes. And WALLE is great. WALLE is one of the greatest androids to grace the silver screen. It's like WALLE, R2-D2, I don't know. I can't think of a sassier robot than WALLE and R2-D2. And you can't forget about Eve. She's fantastic. She's like the iPod to WALL-E's Walkman. So if you haven't seen WALL-E yet, you really should. And that's really all there is to it. Number 71. It's a great science fiction action comedy from Britain. Written and directed by Joe Cornish. And that movie is Attack the Block. Attack the Block performs one of the greatest narrative gymnastics acts I've ever seen. This film takes a group of the most unlikable criminal heads and has you chanting their name by the end of the film. Attack the Block's about a group of kids that live in a housing project or an apartment block in London. The leader of this group is a kid named Moses. Moses is played by John Boyega in his feature film debut, and this role is nothing short of incredible. He is so good in this movie that it made him a star. Like, he's in Star Wars because of Attack the Block. A meteor crashes into a playground, and they go investigate it because they got nothing better to do. All of these other meteors start crashing, and their block is under siege by these aliens, and they're these crazy looking things. They're blacker than the blackest black times infinity. And they have these glowing neon blue teeth. Just rows and rows of horrible glowing blue teeth. And they can climb on stuff. They're everywhere. These kids have to protect their home because their home is under attack by an alien menace. The Goonies meets aliens. It's got a lot of heart. You want them to succeed. You want them to survive this ordeal. It's amazing. So, seriously though, I can't stress this enough. You should see Attack the Block. Whew! Finished with episode 6. I hope you like the last words. I'm going to be doing that every 25 films so that everything is cataloged in one easy to find place. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me again. Stay cool. I'm Billy D. Mighty fine coffee.
A PFT Media production.